How many years do you think it took you of being in prison before you started to get a mindset change or a different perspective or a different mentality to whereas you knew that you would not go back to abusing drugs?
Maybe about 10 years.
It took about 10 years.
Because let me tell you what happened. I can remember this vividly. At my seventh year, at that point, I was starting to love myself. Okay. I was starting to love myself.
How did that happen? How did you start to love yourself?
I found out I could sing.
Wow.
I started being able to take pictures. I started liking the way that I had a sense of humor, how I could attract people. I started liking that. I started loving that.
So
However, at around about the 77th and a half year, all hell broke loose. God began to break me down. He began to show me on the inside, like some things you couldn't see on the outside. I had a spirit of pride. I was very militant. I'm going to the mainland. I'm going to tell them about this. I'm going to fight for us, and we're going to do this and that. And he began to show me that's what I want right there. Things like he showed me how stingy I was because I grew up in a large family. It was 10 of us. So when I finally get something that's mine, it's mine, right?
Right.
And we always had to share everything, popsicles, everything we had to share, right? So when I started getting my own, it's mine. So God started showing me that's what I want right there. I want you to be giving. I want you to be loving. I want you to be caring. And so he started using everyone in the prison system as an instrument for him to break me down. He was using the chaplains. He was using the officers. I would come in from my unit after working all day, and I'd find my room, my cube would be tore up. I mean, they shake me down. They leave my legal matters all out on the floor, and that was against the program statement number such and such. You already know.
Yeah, I already know.
Here I go. I'm running to the
They don't care
mainland.
nothing about no program statement.
Hey, come on now. They out of order. I'm going to the mainland. I want to see the warden. I want to see the AW. I want to see my unit manager. This ain't right. And so I was going through all of this, and it was one thing after another. Then I was leading the praise team, and then the chaplain set me down. No, we don't want you on the praise team. We're going to put you on a sabbatical. I'm like, what? Why am I the only person on the compound that can't say? It was God. He was breaking me down.
Okay.
He was humbling me.
Okay.
And it got to a point to where somewhere along the way, I threw my hands up and I said, you know what? I surrender.
That's so interesting that you say that because, I spoke to, very recently, I spoke to another brother and he said he believes that, people are afraid to be broken down, but he also said that he believes that that is the key to being built back up and getting a different mindset is being broken down.
Listen, you got to stay humble because when you fall, you don't have nowhere to fall. Right? And when you're down the lowest, that's when you can get raised up the highest. Okay? It's so simple. Once you grasp that, it's so simple. That's why you got to stay grateful. People say, well, what's the secret to your success of being out here? I try to stay grateful and I try to stay humble and I stay humble. Okay. And when people do things to me or when I'm rejected for something, whether it's a job, whether it's by relationship or whatever, my motto is this.
All right.
Rejection is God's direction in my protection.
Is God's direction in my protection. I like that.
Want me to tell you how I got that?
Yes, I want to know.
Okay. I was working in Unicor.
You were working in Unicor?
Yeah.
Where did you do your federal time at?
I did my federal time in Tallahassee. First of all, I started out in the Shawnee unit, federal maximum security federal prison for women. It's the only one in the country. It's moved since then. Okay.
Where was that at?
In Marianna, Florida. It's called the Shawnee unit.
Okay. What does that stand for?
It just Shawnee was just a little small unit for federal max women. You know, it had barbed
Okay.
wire even outside, and
Okay.
it was
Did you have
only like
violence in your jacket, or was it just a number of
I
years? Are
had
you able to
like
go?
extortion,
Oh wow.
kidnapping.
Okay. All
I
right.
mean,
You
you
were gang.
know, carrying a concealed weapon, you know, stuff
Right.
like
Right. Right. All right.
gangster.
You were
Okay.
gangster.
Okay. So I was in federal prison, FCI Tallahassee. I'm working in Unicore. We're making furniture, right? They come in one day and they say, today is your last day in federal, in Unicore making this furniture. Where are you moving this industry to Coleman Federal Prison, USP,
Okay.
Pen 1 and Pen 2, okay?
Right.
So, yeah. So they tell us they moving that to Coleman. We're like, what? So they say everybody has to find a new job on the compound. Well, all the jobs sold up. You already know. Whoever's running the kitchen, they run in the kitchen.
Right.
Whoever's running the rec shack, they running the rec shack. You ain't getting in. So
Right.
I'm like, darn, where I'm gonna go. So wherever you go, you want to have some perks, and you're not gonna really get paid. You're gonna get utility pay, right? Maybe
Right.
$15 a month. Okay. So I said I want to go to the laundry because I can keep my sheets and my blankets clean and white. I can get the new uh uh bed linen.
Right.
And at the time we had to pay to wash our clothes in federal prison. We had
Right.
to buy a laundry card, right? So I could take my clothes to the laundry and I could keep them clean for free, right?
Right.
Well, the officer that ran the laundry, she was one of those officers that like was buddy with a lot of the inmates, the
Okay.
messy inmates, right?
Right.
If they don't like you, she don't like you.
Okay.
So so I was like, oh my God, I ain't gonna never get no job down there because, you know,
And they didn't like you?
well, you know, I wasn't in with them.
Okay.
I
Okay.
went in with them. Mhm. So I put my cop out in to be, you know, go to the laundry and the call out came out for the next day. You know,
Right.
a call out
Right.
is what tell you what job you going to, what
That's
house
right.
you getting switched to, if you're going on the pack out list or whatever. So I checked I checked the call out. She actually chose me to go in the laundry.
Okay.
Yes.
So you were happy.
I got a
All right.
job in the laundry. Yes.
All
I
right.
go down to work at the laundry. The next day, you know, you check the call out every day. Next day, I check the call out. I'm out of the laundry. I'm on the rec yard. I'm like, oh my
Oh
God.
no.
So the rec yard, you got to push. They got those lawnmowers without the motors, the push mowers,
Right.
and you have to cut the grass out on the soccer field big as what stadium is in Atlanta?
Right.
Brave
Mercedes-Benz
Stadium.
Stadium. Right. And you're in the sun, and it's not the same because in the laundry you could you create a side hustle too? Washing
And
people's clothes, folding their
yes,
clothes, stuff like that.
exactly.
So you
What
get your
kind of
money
hustle
up
you
in
gonna
there.
get? What kind of hustle you gonna get cutting grass? Huh?
Right. Right. Right.
So
So
I was like, oh my God, they hating on me. This is before I learned about rejection being God's direction and my
okay, so
protection.
you was rejected again. But this is actually still God working on you.
But I didn't know that at the time because at the
Right.
time, they hating on me. They this, that,
Okay.
you know.
Right.
So I'm madder than a wet hen, for real, for real. So, you
Right.
know, I told you I was a gangster Christian, right? So me and
Right.
some of my Christian sisters, we got together. So we cutting grass. So what we came up with this plan. Early in the morning, we're gonna start like 7 o'clock. We're gonna get the lawnmowers out. We're gonna start cutting the grass. And we're gonna listen to two of our favorite radio preachers while we cut the grass. Then after lunch, it's too hot to go out and cut grass. So we're gonna have Bible study after lunch, and we're gonna talk about what we listened to that morning,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So in the midst of us doing all that, you know, I learned something about stop complaining about this and don't be mumbling and grumbling. So I got all right with cutting the grass. I got my workout on and I got my Bible study in, right?
That's right. It was good cardio cutting that grass.
Exactly. I put that lawnmower to my hip
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pushing it and I push it down low. So I squat with it. So I'm doing squats, right?
Right.
So I'm getting some good cardio I'm getting toned up. Okay.
All right. So it sounds like you started to look, it sounds like maybe that's when you started to develop the attitude of being grateful of all things.
It
Is that,
started, but it wasn't all the way there yet.
it
It
wasn't
wasn't
all the
all
way
the
there
way
yet?
there yet. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. All right. So you're
So
about 10 years in at this point?
I'm about 8 years in, 8 or
About 8
9 years
years in.
in.
Okay.
So then all of a sudden, I get moved to Coleman Camp.
You went to Coleman Camp now. Okay.
So I'm at the camp. And when you go to another prison, anytime the bus is coming from the prison that you came from, everybody running to the gate to see who getting off the bus, right?
Right.
You want to know what's happening at the old prison.
Right.
Who doing what? What's going on? Who
Right.
bringing stuff I can buy? You know what I'm
Explain the
saying?
difference between a camp and where you at? You at
And if
UP
and
1 or 2?
I went from federal max
Right.
to FCI, which is medium
Right.
custody,
Okay.
and now
Right.
I'm at the camp, which is low custody. No fence,
Okay. No
no
fence.
fence.
You could leave if you want.
They say no fence, but I promise you, if you go past a certain area,
Yeah.
you
If
will
they
find out
catch
about
you out
that
of
fence.
bounds, they're gonna make you know what time it is.
Yeah,
I got a
exactly.
friend that used to say, "You think this is a camp, but in 2 seconds they could turn it to a United States penitentiary."
Come on. Okay, then.
All right.
So I'm
So your
there.
friends see you getting off the bus. They know.
No, no,
Okay.
no. I'm watching other people get off. So
You
I run
okay?
over to the fence. I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's up? What's up? You know, they got their little grip. They got their little bag with their uniforms and stuff. They coming out on the compound. We running. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? So I want to know what's happening in the laundry with they low down self.
You still
They
trying to get back to London?
yeah. I'm still got some beef with the laundry, right?
Right.
And she say, the laundry? The laundry is closed down. I said, what you mean? She said, we don't have a laundry anymore. She said, they found black mold in the laundry. She said, you remember Miss So-and-so that was over the laundry? I'm like, yeah, I know her. She got sick. She was pregnant and her baby, something came out wrong with her baby.
Wow, that's the same lady
All,
that transferred you.
all of the inmates that work down there, they're sick.
Oh my goodness.
Immediately I heard in my spirit, rejection is my direction and your protection.
And your protection. Wow.
Hey,